Game number 1, semifinal in qualifier number 2 for the Murky Cup, everybody. Battlefield of Eternity is kicking us off in the best of 3 series. We have the Krankle crew going up against Team Ash. The Krankle crew wasn't really too happy in the first qualifier. The reason is fairly simple. They went up against the Exodia stack, who's kind of the top dog. They actually didn't make it into the grand final today for the second qualifier, but they absolutely crushed things in qualifier number 1, and the Krankle crew was their first victim. Now we have 6 qualifiers in total, and as you progress through the qualifier, you gather points that help you to qualify for the playoffs. But the qualifiers are single elimination, so that meant that it was a very early out for the blue team, and now here in the second qualifier they have a chance to lock some points in for themselves. It's very cool actually that we have 2 players from the North American server play here as well. So we got Porky and we got Krew in. As also a reminder, in case this is the first game that you're watching of the Murky Cup and the qualifiers here, this is where we have $2,000 of prize money, all of that supported by I Can't Wait, who sponsored the tournament here. So big shout out to him, absolute boss, made this happen. And we split the prize pool as we did with previous tournaments like the Banshee Cup. So you have $1,000 that go to the top teams, but then we have $1,000 also in the bounty pool. Now, bounties are pretty much just handicaps that you give yourself. Here's a bounty board where you can have a bit of a look. And if you complete a bounty, you get a ticket for that pool. And the more tickets you get, the more money, of course, at the end of the whole tournament you are going to get as your share of those $1,000. So teams have to make that risk-reward calculation, whether or not they want to go for a bounty or for the victory, whether they think they can take it with it, and you have to think this through. In a best-of-3 series here in the qualifiers, that already plays a bit of a role, but once we're moving, for example, into best-of-5 matches during the playoffs, even more so. So bounties are actually pretty cool. Some teams have just gone for a bounty focus, which was pretty insane. And yeah, I'm personally quite curious to see now what's happening in the second qualifier. Again, in total we have 6, so still plenty of tournaments to happen. But as we're going now into our first draft for this best of 3 series, also a quick reminder that you can't pick a hero more than once within the series. So we have limitations to the draft, a couple of draft restrictions as we had in previous tournaments as well. Make things a bit more interesting and make sure that you don't see Blaze in every single game on the side lane. Urel is the first pick for Team Ash for that inside. And I'm kind of hyped for this one. They already know who they're facing off against in the grand final. The dudes won against the Exodia stack, so it should be a pretty wild match no matter who makes it out. But specifically the blue team was very, very eager in this tournament, because in the last one, again, they couldn't really do a whole lot. They were eliminated in the first round, so they were super eager to at least now get themselves a couple of points here. And yeah, let's see. Li Ming and Garrosh. I mean, Li Ming for Battlefield of Eternity makes obviously perfect sense. Hansa has already been banned, so has Vala. So if you're trying to go for Immortal Pressure, then those are definitely 2 of the great picks that you can get. Those were banned. Li Ming therefore becomes a fantastic option to just always YOLO a combo out against the Immortal. And then when we're talking mages, you have to mention Chromie, so she gets picked up by Team Ash, and we get Lucio as the added heals. Not sure if anybody in this case... I'm actually fairly certain that the blue team is not going to go for bounty on the first map. Again, they didn't get a whole lot of points for the leaderboard to qualify for the playoffs in the first qualifier. So, when it comes to that risk-reward calculation I mentioned earlier, they are now in a situation where I would assume that they've highly prioritized getting as far as possible in the tournament, and they don't want to risk anything here. If you make it at least in the grand final and in an ideal world win it, then you are already on a very good way to qualify for the playoffs. But that has to be the first goal for both of these teams. Now, when we're talking about Team Ash, they obviously already participated in the last qualifier and are in a good spot on the leaderboard, so they could be more tempted to go for a bounty early on in this series. But yeah, we'll see. Plenty of bounties to go around. Still lots of tournaments, playoffs themselves as well. So yeah, Brightwing gets banned, Sylvanas gets banned out. Bit more damage against the Immortal would be nice. Could go for the triple frontline, of course, too. With Garrosh, you could go Zarya. I would not mind seeing a Garrosh-Zarya combo in Battlefield of Eternity again. Just get that speed bubble on level 4 and turn Garrosh into a race car. The good old Swedish combo that Lauber and his boys have already always pushed out. They go for Uther and they go for Hogger. And I have to stress this again, I think I mentioned it earlier, but it's always cool and from my perspective amazing when we're seeing American players participate in European tournaments because they will play with the ping disadvantage. So them making that move and saying like, yes, we still want to participate here is fantastic. So big shout out to specifically Cure and Porky here, who have to deal with that ping and also, of course, with the time zone difference that plays a bit of a role too for them. Final 2 picks for the red team. We get Junkrat and we get Janna. So Jojo, Urel for the front line, Junkrat for poke, Chromie. There's a lot of distant poke that they're running here now. And it leaves us with Cure. Last but not least, final pick as we're heading into game number 1 of the best of 3 series in this semi-final of the second qualifier. And, well, moment of truth. Our second NA player. What is his weapon of choice now? As we're going straight for Battlefield of Eternity. So we go Genji. Genji, Uther, and Li Ming. So already a few resets. Divine Shield maybe with a blade. Time will tell. Either way, let's go. Game number 1. We got the Krankle crew going up against Team Ash. Game number 1 in the best of 3. Over on the left side, we got the Krankle crew with Balkarks on Li Ming, Deviant on Uther. Porky hailing from North America with Hogger, Cure on Genji, and the man himself, the captain, Krankle on Garrosh at that front line. Over on the right side of the map, Team Ash with Renella on Lucio. We're getting dead inside on Urel. Lopaka with Junkrat down for life on Chromie. And we got Ion on Johanna. Okay, game on. Yeah, love this. This should be a really cool series. Specifically, I want to see what the blue team can do. They had a lot of ambition coming into the tournament. Qualifier number 1 didn't go well for them. Also a bit of bad RNG, of course, since they went up against the strongest team that eventually won the first qualifier right at the start. So, yeah, that definitely hurts a bit. But let's see what they can now do here. Can they win against Team Ash? It's not an easy opponent. This is still a tough opponent to face. But then again, these are the semifinals already. So obviously, we gotta put in some effort then. At the top, Genji actually pushed out. Q is now all alone against 3 heroes. So he needs some assistance, and we have a few moving over. Porky is coming back onto the lane. We have Garrosh already on the way. And then maybe, yes, the kill! Renella goes down. Nicely done. So they are able to eliminate Lucio and get first blood in the game. Down to the bottom of the map, it has now started to establish into a 2v2. Interesting lane split that they currently have going on there. Camps have spawned, Hogger is doing his thing, but they are still nibbling on the edges and hoping that they can get a cheeky kill in and maybe steal that camp away. Doesn't really look likely. Then again, Urel, she gets pushed out, camp is taken, alright, nicely done. So they were able to take the camp, Garrosh still falls. So the camp is claimed, but Garrosh is gone, and now maybe even a follow-up as they move in for Porky, and they get him too. That's 2 kills for Team Ash. They started things by losing one of their heroes, but now they are gaining a bit more momentum in all of this. So, yeah, job well done. More attacks still happening at the top, where the side lane or the side wall has already been destroyed. It could go through the entire gate and grant themselves a bit more vision on all of this. There's already a lot of action happening, with the objective not even spawning on the map yet. And talking about action, nice flip, but only against Urel as Krankle moved in from the side. Nearly turned into a problem for him again. Early level 4, that gives us subdue for Jojo. Let's see if she's able at some point to get that completed. But yeah. And then also the wall completely annihilated up at the top. So that's the next one. Yeah. First Punisher, first Immortal coming up now. Both teams, of course, instantly eager to make sure that they are, you know, setting up the camps properly. So that's the next big one. Yeah, let's see what we can do with that. Who's going to get the first fort here? Who's going to get the first Punisher? The next, again, experience is still fairly even. Both of them have some nice tools that they can utilize in this encounter. But, yeah, nobody is rushing for the Immortal right away. I mean, everybody has at least a couple of nice heroes that they can play around with now, but Seems like the blue team is the one to take the initial lead, so they are pushing a bit more aggressively into the objective. Urel was at the bottom of the map and was trying to defend. Nobody has dealt with the camp at the top lane yet, but Hogger will eventually move in and deal with the situation. And yeah, the halftime show is already over. Huh. Krankle Krew with a really nice start up here. Now, Hogger has to move to the top. They are in a much more defensive position right now. Talking about Team Ash here. Chromie is the only one on the right side that is trying to take the hit points down on the opponent. It's more so about stopping the bleeding than anything else. But if they can, of course, get kills now, then they could maybe change the tides of objective number 1. Nice flip by Garrosh though, really well played. And Hogger is capitalizing on it. He's not the only one. Junker is the first one to fall. Cure wants another kill, goes for that inside, but has to be careful as Chromie is taking aim on him. But the objective is still taken with a massive lead here. Well, not massive, but 40% for the blue team. So Krankle Krew off to a good start on the objective at least. It's 2 kills to 2 now. Very, very even game thus far. Leading experience also helps them to get an earlier level 7. So on that end we get Calamity, which is going to be big for them. The Hand of Protection too. And now they can try at the top to take down that wall. And maybe even the fort itself. Bit less likely, unless they get kills. And Garrosh is already attempting to facilitate those. Jojo is immediately in trouble, but the shield on the Immortal has already fallen, so it went from ranged into melee mode. And yeah, more attacks coming, but they won't be able to take the fort down. Any kind of damage on the fort, on the other hand, already counts, so the more they can do, the better. It's not really all that much, didn't get to 50% or anything, but maybe now the chance to go for Jojo again. Iron is low, but they can't get the kill. They're getting close though. Some really sweet moves made and forcing Joanna back several times, but she had the Iron Skin shield up again, so could save herself. Now, Hogger is still slowly moving towards the top. I would say, just generally speaking, it seems like the blue team is a bit ahead or takes the initiative a bit more, mainly because of the first objective and now their pressure at the top that they exude. Leading experience also for them now. Early level 10 is definitely in the cards and they could build on it. And Garrosh is creating a lot of kill opportunities here. Lucio and Urel are both missing at the top, so that could become a problem. Talking about Garrosh, there it is again. That's exactly what I was talking about. Exactly what I was talking about a second ago. And he is able to move in and get the quick kill here. So, yep. Sweet. Sweet little move by him. Lopaka talking about kills. He also falls. Damn, yeah, that is looking great. Lucio is gone. Li Ming survives. So that makes it worse. That's 3 kills, and look how quickly they're taking advantage of that experience gain. That's level 10 that they now have, and with that, obviously, they should be able to lock in the objective, or at least get the initial lead. I mean, once that this thing pops up, they're going to go for the halftime show, maybe with a bit of play on both lanes. The red team is able to get enough experience to get their own heroic abilities, but this is now lots of momentum in the hands of Team Krankle Krew. And Garrosh is already pushing deep into enemy territory as they're hoping to catch somebody out of position and get another kill in. Hoarder pulled for Hogger. Genji has, as expected, gone into the Dragon Blade. So Dragon Blade together with Divine Shield from Uther, going full on old school on this. And a halftime show is theirs. So they get the quick halftime show. Krankle. Oh, there's the kill. Junkrat is gone. Krankle teeing it up again with the rest of the team. Nice wave of force from Li Ming. And there's the follow-up kill. Divine Shield. He wants Lucio. He gets Lucio. Cure still goes down. I mean, he died for a good cause, so I give him that. But this was still extremely well done. So, good job. Not only do they get the halftime show, but they get multiple kills with it as well. And Genji, especially the Lucio kill there towards the end was great. But Cure obviously dying then in the same vein. It's a big objective for him. I mean, this is just nasty. Look at this. This is going to be 100% on the shield nearly. So, Koromi's down. Oh my god, they're murdering them. Stop kicking them. They're already dead. 9 kills to 3. The objective about to be taken any second now. And it is a 1.5 level lead that we currently see here. Yeah, Immortal is going to be taken in a moment. It's actually crazy that they haven't even locked it in yet. Look at Hogger. Hogger doesn't even participate here anymore. He's already on the camp. Hogger is taking a camp. Porky is just sitting at the side. He's like, yeah, we got this, we got this. So they get a massive Immortal. And they get the objective, the camp, sorry. So yeah, they get both. But that's gonna be big. That push is mega dangerous. Just imagine them now also getting level 13 for the push. That's definitely possible. Because they have at the top side a huge wave that Hogga is now taking care of. So they're getting closer and closer to a talent advantage to boot. In addition to everything else that's already working in their favor. Hogga and Urella are now slowly moving down to the bottom of the map again. But right here we have... I mean, the fort is gone. That's guaranteed. Fort doesn't stand a chance. Only question is, what else are we going to get here? How much farther can they go? Can they open the wall up at the keep? But it doesn't really seem like they're too interested in it. They're going to push it a bit, try and protect it, but they still keep Hogga topside, so he's going to get another fort. Both forts destroyed means the outer ring of defense is gone. And even here they can do some work. I mean, yeah, the Immortal's not able to break through the entire wall, but taking the tower down a notch or two is already quite nice. We got 18,000 damage for Junkrat as the top damage dealer for Team Ash, but the Krankle crew with Liming is sitting at 23,000, so they have the top damage in the game just now. Yeah. A little bit more moves being made here now as well for the next camp. They're getting both. They're taking the camp at the bottom, they're taking the camp at the top. And Team Ash is just trying to catch up in experience. To at least get some even fights. Well, right now, next attack, they're trying to catch him here. Garrosh! Garrosh! And this... Oh, the Divine Shield! The Divine Shield from Uther! Saving the day for him. Garrosh gets out, Uther paying attention, has his back. Well done. Yep, that was pretty good. That was pretty darn good. This could have gotten a lot worse here for the blue team if they would have lost their tank. But no, he makes it. Still the talent advantage. That hasn't really changed. Urel at the bottom gets experience for Team Ash. So now they are going to be running a level 13 for the next objective. So as we are fighting for Immortal number 3, both teams have the same talent here. And over. This is really the moment where if the blue team is able to perform again the same way that they did on the second Immortal, then the momentum is going to be very difficult to break. Pure is just on the edge, always trying to poke him down, open up a kill opportunity for either himself or even for Liming here for some resets. So Krankle gets targeted up at the front. Genji zipping in, out. There's a quick stun. Urel also pushing him into a corner. Chromie with their ult. Nice. Damage against Jojo and Urel. Urel in particular had to pop the ult too. Big cooldown that was already used here. Riptire out. Didn't do anything for them. And the red team is now trying to go for the objective, but the problem is still the same. One team has fountains in the middle, the other one doesn't. So a quick move to top off the hit point and mana pools, and now they're back to business. Hogga is jumping in and doing the damage. Urel, as I said before, is in trouble because she doesn't have a ult anymore. Great shield from Lucio, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough, and it isn't. Urel is gone. Urel is dead. It's a 5 versus 4. Halftime show isn't over either. The red team heavily pushed for it and was trying to grab it, but the Krankle crew is now taking the initiative in the fight and is taking control with a second kill as they take Lucio out. 11 kills to 3 and nearly level 16 as well for the team on the left side of the map. Hogga already transitioning to the top side again to push already for the keep wall. I mean, they know that they have a massive lead now with the numbers advantages as is. They win the halftime show and Urel has to deal with the push at the top side that Hogga just set up. And at the bottom doesn't look any better. Catapults are now slowly pushing in for them. With level 16 talents we get Benediction for the blue team. Final cut and Liming with Mirror Ball. So, yeah, that's another 50-60% Immortal for the Krankle crew. And another big opportunity to make plays for the top. Now, as I already said, with another objective won by the blue team, this is going to get tough. Level 16 advantage. Ults up. Genji's going to get his in 26 seconds, so he's going to have it ready. This is a... I mean, this could honestly be nearly a death blow. That keep at the top, likely gonna fall. They're gonna be in serious trouble here. They are in serious trouble. So here comes the push. Let's see how they're gonna be able to deal with it. I mean, so far, not really all that well. Immortal still with ranged mode, still has the shield hitting. And this keep is gone. Urel is desperately trying to get them experience at the bottom of the map. She's still pushing the side lane out. They know they're going to lose the keep. This is all about whether or not it goes farther than that. If heroes die, then the core becomes an option. If they can keep everyone alive, then maybe not. And they kill Garrosh. Nice. Even with Junkrat falling, Garrosh getting destroyed and Toga getting destroyed is big. Getting Genji too, I mean, that's a nice triple kill that they just got for themselves. That was pretty huge. And they get another one. Damn, son. All of a sudden. Against a level 16 talent advantage, I might add. Now, the core is taking a bit of damage, I would assume, against the Immortal. But still, that was huge. This many heroes killed helped them to catch up in experience. And that was actually pretty massive. Especially if you couldn't... They got everybody. 5-man team wipe. Full 5-man team wipe. Core is on 69% now. Nice. But yeah, it's a bit bananas when you think about it. Definitely. It's definitely a little bit bonkers. Because I was worried that the game might end even. I was really worried that they might be able to just move in and completely demolish them. And instead, everybody gets killed on the blue team side. That's a massive experience gain for the red team. I mean, just look at the experience distribution here. In hero experience, the red team has now taken a big lead because they killed less heroes in total. But when you look at the levels of the heroes that were killed, they have the edge and they used it. Cure pausing the game, maybe a couple of issues with ping here from the guys playing over from North America. Porky's still in, so it doesn't seem like anybody has actually dropped here. Oh, actually, Uther has dropped. Okay, so they lost their support player. Yeah, let's hope that he's going to be back in a moment. But, yeah. Initially, utter domination from the blue team. Now the question, even with the damage that they did at the core, and also the keep that they took out at the top lane, the question that remains is, did this last attack put a stop to all of it, to the momentum, and will it allow the red team now to turn things around? Because they have some momentum here. They're still behind experience, at least a little bit, but they've now taken the first fort out, so they're really making their way towards it. If they can win a few more team fights, and they're already threatening a kill on Garrosh, then they might just be able to, you know, turn the tide of the battle a little bit. Team Ashe is a team that you should never count out. Team Ashe is crazy. These guys, again, they killed 5 heroes when they were a talent down. You should never count the red team out. Now it's about the next objective. Even talents for the two teams. So, yep. Now we're gonna see who is able to win this one. If Team Ashe can now take the the Immortal, that would be huge. It would be absolutely huge. If they can pull that off, there's an opportunity to maybe go and turn the game around. They have to, of course, still deal with the catapults here. They cannot allow this to become a huge problem for them. So, yeah, caution definitely advised because the core has already taken damage. So, yeah. But, seems like the blue team is very eager to make sure that they're not falling behind. And they're already grabbing the Immortal. They're at least getting dangerously close to it. Not quite there yet. But yeah, the attacks, they keep on coming. Catapults at the top. I'm really a bit worried about those catapults. We're only 16 minutes in. But it could soon get to Winion time. The problem for Team Ashe is that they haven't taken the top side fort out from the Krankle crew. So there's now catapults on every single lane. And that is, yeah, more than a bit problematic. There's the attack. Want to grab it again. And they take it. So they're going to get the Immortal. Immortal is in. And now the chance to end the game, I guess. Unless they lose heroes again. More catapults already amassing at the top. Red team will have to fall back and deal with it. 20 is close. Dangerously close. This is where the Krankle crew should honestly be able to make their play. I mean, for sure. Let's look at this. They have everything. They have the Immortal. They have such a great spot now to make this work. With the objective, with level 20 that's kicking any second. The core already taking damage. To keep at the top eliminated. This is the moment where they can take the lead in the series. They had a rough qualifier number 1, but this is the moment where they can take the lead in this best of 3 at the semifinal of qualifier number 2. But not like that! They get pinned down into a corner, and Genji is the first one to fall. Once again, it's Team Ashe that is able to, I will assume, defend. Not even the keep is gonna fall. What is happening all of a sudden? They can't win the objective, but at least they're defending like lions. This is crazy. Team Ash has defended again, despite all of the advantages that we saw for the other team. Yeah. I love Team Ash. Team Ash is awesome. They never give up. They always fight, 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 and they do whatever they can. And sometimes they get rewarded. Can you imagine being on the Krankle crew now and having 2 objectives already where you think, hey, we might be able to end with this? And then your opponent defends over and over against you and you're sitting in the same spot again and you're thinking, well, why is this not happening? What's going on here? How can we not break through this? So the keep at the bottom has not been destroyed. They set up 2 camps to force Urel down. But there's the counter pressure. Now the fort at the top is getting attacked. If they can take this out, that means that they don't have any... it would mean that they don't have any fountains anymore either in the middle of the map. But... well, oh god! Team Ash is getting another kill. At least Johanna falls. Alright. Johanna falls. So it's a kill for a kill. But yeah, the fort falls. The keep at the bottom of the map, by the way, is also going to get destroyed now. So this is even more problematic. Now the core is getting attacked from 2 sides. Yeah, they send Urel back to ensure that it's not Winion time. That the Winions don't decide the game all of a sudden. But that also moves Urel back to base, where the next Immortal is spawning now. So maybe the blue team can take a slight lead. What a series again. Yeah. This tournament is awesome, honestly. Qualifier number 2, and we're already having another big party here. 13 kills to 10, 23 kills, 20 minutes into the game, and everybody is now fighting for the next and maybe the final objective of all of this. Li Ming barely getting out here. Barely able to save herself as Chromie is trying for damage. With final cut, QS at the top, he's trying to play the macro game. 3 catapults that get escorted in. And then you have also the issue at the bottom of the map. So now it's Johanna that is trying to deal with it. But that means that they're lacking a few heroes here in the middle of the fight. So it's a 5 versus 4 in a second. Jojo can't defend. She comes in here. So nice and really intelligent plays also by the Krankle crew. Trying to apply pressure to the core to force a hero to defend and then capitalize on the numbers advantage in the middle. Johanna is forced here again. She at least dealt with some of the catapults, but there's still the bot lane to consider. 74,000 damage from Chromie, by the way. And then on top of that, of course, 60,000 for Li Ming. So it's really the mages that are bringing them numbers at this point. That's a problem, though. Hogga caught again and killed. Hogga down, Genji on the core. Genji on the core with the catapults. They have to defend this. Trying to take the shield down. The rest of the team is fighting over here. They want the Immortal, and this one will likely end the game if the blue team gets it. And they're taking the lead. So Genji is currently running around Lopaka. Genji against Junkrat, and the core is at... well, it's nearly lost its shields. But they're trying to get the objective. That is the whole goal here. Get the objective and win it through that. They know that they're having some trouble in teamfights now, so they're making a different play. Kyo moves in, wants the final hit, wants the final cut, and gets it against Urel. They get the objective, they get the kill against the side laner. Urel is gone. Cure himself, able to move out. The stun seals the deal on Lucio, and this is going to be game. It took them a long time, but I just don't see a universe in which they can defend against this. This is too much for Team Ash to handle. They did a valiant effort earlier, able to defend time and time again, but well, honestly didn't think it possible. But now, with 15 kills to 11, yes, you can try and work on the minion wave a little bit. Can try and take a hero out here. Blessed Shield already missing, so they couldn't tee that up. The Immortal on 50% shield, but of course an absolute monster of an objective now this late in the game. And it is going to be a victory on the first map for the Krankle crew against Team Ash. They're going to take it here. Very nicely done. 23-minute game, essentially. Team Ash loses the first map. They lose on Battlefield of Eternity, and the Krankle crew take the lead in this second semifinal of qualifier number 2. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
God of Terror, second map in the best of 3 series, yet the semifinal of qualifier number 2. and the Krankle crew has taken the lead. So, good for the blue team. Well done. Hard-fought victory. I mean, Team Ash defending like crazy. 3 Immortals at the end of the day, where they were able to basically defend. The last one was finally what broke the straw that broke the camel's back. But now we are looking at the first match point for the blue team. Now, again, quick reminder, because of the draft restrictions, 10 heroes are now out of the pool. The 10 heroes that were played on the previous map cannot be played again. We didn't see a bounty attempt yet, and I have to admit that I don't really think we're going to get one here either. Both of the teams are very eager to make it into the grand final. I mean, first of all, I talked about the situation of the Krankle crew after the first qualifier already. So it's really important for them to make it to the grand final. So them playing a bounty, I doubt it. Again, maybe I'm wrong, we'll see. But for Team Ash now being 0-1, I don't think they want to risk that either. Time will tell. With Garden of Terror being a pretty big map, of course, we'll see how the teams are going to approach this now if we're going to get some more globals. Sylvanas gets first banned out. Normally what you want here is also some heroes that are very, very good on mercenary camps. That's another big one. Idea behind it being, this is the map in the pool that has the most mercenary camps. If you have a few heroes in your arsenal that can move from one camp to another and very quickly get that, maybe even steal some of the opponents away, then you normally have a lot of lane pressure and can really pin your opponent down, take more and more of the map as the game continues. Hogger oftentimes is being played here. Rhaegar, again, one of the reasons that he's banned right now is because with his lightning shield he can also very much help to speed up any kind of camp clear. You've seen Graham in that position, Hogger, yeah, you name it. I mean, again, Jaina with a nice ability rotation and the AoE that she brings in can also take them fairly quickly. But, yeah, we'll see. Now, first pick, it's the blue team. Team Ash decided that they want to have the map choice, and well, we get Maiev. It's actually a fair amount of Maiev. Ultralis got his Maiev earlier, which already surprised me a bit considering that normally it's banned out. Now we're getting a tier 2. So, let's see. And yeah. They're actually hesitating a bit on this. Okay, Dehaka and Hanzo. Dehaka and Hanzo are now in. You have your first global. Hanzo with an arrow play. Possibly two. Every single time I see something like this when they're starting with Dehaka, I immediately think, okay, what's going to happen around Falstad? There's a few more heroes that you could play in regards to having a potential global in the game. Illidan with Hunt is a bounty, just as a quick reminder. So he is a pseudo-global, and on Garden of Terror he wouldn't be horrible either, because it's a big map. Distance to safety is huge with Illidan, so you could do that. I just don't think that the teams are currently in a position where they would try and risk it. Now, on the side of the blue team with Maiev already picked, I'd see it even less. There's also Samuro that I suppose you could technically get if you wanted to have that. But, yeah. The birdie, if not banned out, might be one of the heroes that gets picked up by Team Ash, just so they have even a double global. If their focus is macro game, that's an option. Yeah, Mirrodin and Anduin, so very likely we're going to get some kind of light bomb approach here. Not a lot of bubble plays that we're getting on the European side. It was actually surprising to me that in the Korean tournament we had a very high amount of bubble for Anduin. Meta was very different there, with certain, not only with hero picks, but also with a lot of talent choices. That was a huge difference. Now again, if you haven't caught the Korean tournament yet, check out the playlists on my YouTube channel. If you just look at the playlists, we recently had the Korea Cup and we had a North American tournament. HGC 2024, the Hanzo Genji Cup, was all on the NA server. So if you're interested in seeing some of the other regions and how they perform right now, you should have a look there. Playlists should be in order, all the videos probably edited as well. So yeah, check out the YouTube playlist if you haven't caught any of these. It's always kind of interesting to see how the meta is different, especially when we're talking about the Korean and the Chinese teams. Now, Diablo and Malfurion. I'm still waiting for that final pick. But when we're talking Falstad, I guess Krankle would also take it. So, Leo got banned and Sergeant Hammer got banned. Didn't actually see that many Hammer picks. She got banned a few times though. Now, double pick. Porky. What do we get for the side lane? And also, what's going to be the range damage for the second map? This is match point. If the blue team takes it, then the grand final. And Team Ash would be eliminated from the squad. ETC Vala! Wait, what? Porky with the ETC as a side laner. Okay. Stage dive for him, so you have your global. You got an additional stun. And with Maiev, tether into ETC power slide. Okay. That's pretty cool. That's actually sweet. I like that. Yeah, and it leaves us with the final choice for Team Ash. So, what is Vala gonna play here also as a level 1 talent? There's a few options for her. But yeah, Team Ash, they lock in Zagara. They got Zagara now. Well, could go Nidus, it's a big map. Could go for Bounty. Garden of Terror, everybody. Second map in the best of 3 series at the semifinal. Game number 2, Garden of Terror is the map. And with that, we're heading into the blue team, rocking Maiev now. Nice with momentum on level 1. Krankle is playing Muradin, Q on Maiev, Deviant on Anduin, with got Malkarks on Vala. Still waiting for that level 1 choice there. And side lane ETC, I dig it, let's go. Let's see if that works for them. There's definitely a lot of good arguments made in favor of that. And we get an auto attack style for Vala, so Creed of the Hunter. On the right side, it's Renella for Team Ash with Malfurion. We get Dead Inside on Dehaka, Down for Life on Zagara. Lopaka plays Hanzo. Nion is playing Diablo up at that front line. So, Zagara and Dehaka for more pressure against minions here. I mean, you also have to watch a bit for the mercenary camps, as I already said earlier. That's something that the blue team doesn't necessarily shine with the composition that they're playing. But I'm very eager to see the plays once that, you know, ETC uses stage dive to jump into team fights, goes for a quick power slide that he can use to just follow up on stuns with Muradin, CC chains that they can establish. So there's a couple of nice, cool things that they can pull off here. But then, of course, on the other end, you also have Down for Life on Zagara, playing that out a bit and trying to get the creep spread out. Get them all the vision that they want here to dominate the, well, seeds, the objective, but also just lane transitions in general. Middle of the map already a bit of an attack. Yeah, good flip here, so Malkarks, careful. ETC, top side. It's just, I mean, again, he's just slowing things down here. So, yeah. Pauses the lane a little bit, does not want to move out. Knows fully well that eventually there's going to be an attack against him. So he's trying to avoid that as best as he can. And Q claiming the camp. They're going with Vala now for the next move. Has only connected 3 attacks so far with Hero, so it's going to be a bit tricky for her, I suppose, during the game in order to get proper stacks. But if she at least doesn't die, that would be neat. But they don't have 2 supports. There's only 1 healer to assist her. So that's the one thing with Vala where she has to be a little bit careful. Only a single support, and when it comes to the front line, at least she has a proper meat shield. Triple front line is also kind of nice to create some space for her, especially considering the heroes that are being played. ETC can push people back, then you have the tether moves from Maiev, so there's quite a few that they can do in order to keep Vala safe. But most Vala players would of course love to have that additional pocket healer that just does nothing but cater to their every need. Maiev now up at the top, dealing with the camps. We have level 4 kicking in for both of the teams. And at this point, we're looking also at seed number 1, which spawns more towards the right side of the map, towards Team Ash. So definitely going to enjoy that. This is one that they should really try and lock in. Level 4 gives us also ignore all distractions for Hanzo. And Zagara is slowly starting to make the move for the first seed. And so far, it's not really being interrupted. I mean, yes, Muradin is at the bottom of the map. I'm not really going to make a play there. I don't think they're going to move that far in to commit to a fight where they will probably think it's going to be disadvantageous for them. But big map, usually longer games. And for me, as I said before, still very curious to see how ETC is going to perform here. Because this is really not a pick that you see a whole lot. Back in the day, that was very different. Back in the days of HGC, what oftentimes happened, specifically towards the end, is that ETC was picked very early because you could play him as a side laner and as a main tank. And then depending on your opponent's reactions and how they drafted, you made that choice. But nowadays, ETC has fallen off as a main tank significantly, sees very little play. As a side laner, others normally outshine him. But now that they wanted to apparently have a counterpoint to Dehaka with a global, stage dive is of course an option. They didn't want to go for some kind of weird Illidan shenanigans. And it gives them additional stun. So once level 10 is in, we could see some very sweet plays from them. And I'm curious how far they're going with this. So, anyways. First seed is claimed. No surprises there, so they get that quickly. And now on top of that, of course, that creep spread is just continuing at the bottom of the map. And there's some pretty decent creep spread. I mean, this is good vision that Zagara has here. So that's at least where she can be fairly certain that nobody flanks in against her. Vala, on the other hand, now maybe in some trouble. Dehaka not connecting the lick on the other hand. And they have Hanzo in a corner, and that is first blood. Hanzo down, they want another kill, and they get it. That's the double kill right there. Diablo gone, and they even hope to get a third one with Malfurion. And honestly, I was able to get out. The problem is still the same. There's 2 kills against you in a situation where you definitely did not want to lose anybody. Next seed is spawning, and it gives a lead in experience also to the blue team. So the team that has already taken the lead in the series itself has now also started off pretty strong in game number 2. Definitely not an ideal situation if you're trying to win 2 in a row to make your way towards the grand final and face off against the dudes, against Ultralisk's team. So, back on the camps, back on mercenary duty, and with the next seed popping, this one is spawning way more towards the middle. There's always the danger that the blue team is getting a heroic ability during that fight. The Haga is already at the bottom of the map, so I was honestly expecting the red team to go for some snappy plays, and they haven't done that. I suppose they still could, but it doesn't look like it. So level 10 will kick early for the Krankle crew, and then they're going to go for the seed, likely at least, and we'll lock that in. At least what you can assume at this point. Now, there's heroics. Disc is in, stage dive, obviously. And with the window being as big as it is, I just don't see the red team fight for this. I'm actually surprised that they're still there. I thought they would already move back here, but so far that's not the case. The disc is out, there's the light bomb, and it doesn't connect. Nah. They are hoping for a kill, and they get it against Diablo at least. ETC and Dehaka are still at the bottom of the map, but that was a little bit of an odd one. That light bomb was so strange here for just a second. Yeah, I thought they would be able to do a bit better on this, but not quite. So, anyways. Now as it stands, we're having Dehaka at the bot lane. Just waiting, getting the experience for the team. They have our own level 10. Unfortunately for all the Nidus fans, Zagara has gone into more. Again, they are they're behind. So they're not risking anything here. You can't really blame him for it, but of course, hope dies last. So most people sitting there thinking like, yeah, well, you know, maybe with a little bit of luck, they're just gonna come in and now, oh, Apocalypse at the top. They're gonna come in and play Nidus after all. So here comes the arrow. Yeah, YOLOing that out. Trying to get the quick hit in. Can they get a kill against Muradin, for example? Doesn't look like it. Anduin gets Mort, though. Maybe they can tee up a kill here. Vala is a bit low, and Anduin indeed falls. They're trying to get a counter kill against Hanzo, and they are able to make it happen. Maiev falls too, though. Krankle is barely able to get out of the fight, but there we saw the combo with the Stormbolt into the power slide from ETC. So, nicely done. Some neat little plays that they were able to execute here. That Haymaker choice is a bit questionable if you ask me. I don't like Haymaker. If you watch this channel a little bit more often, then you probably already know that. But you take so much away from Muradin, and it makes it very, very squishy, and they're just suffering the consequences of that right now. So, it is a bit dicey. But time will tell if they are still able to win the game here. You can, of course, isolate targets. I mean, that's always nice. But if you're getting targeted as Muradin, so much of your survivability is gone if you're not going into Avatar. Others will have to start picking up the slack here. More good news for the blue team is, of course, that they have not lost their... not lost any of Vala's stacks yet. So she's still capitalizing fully on the Gambit. No problem on that whatsoever. Hero has not died yet. So if they can continue that until level 16, then they're going to get the full advantage of the synergy between Manticore and the attack speed increase. So that would of course be pretty sweet. But for now, level 13 telling he's got a Bronze Beard Rage. Good tether into Vala's ult. That double more doesn't change anything on that. At least I don't think it does. They're easily able to get out of it. Another connect with the Rain of Vengeance. Very nicely done. And the Stormbolt that follows it up marks the end of Diablo. He loses his souls. Maiev is already moving towards the bottom, trying to save the fort that is getting attacked here. But, yup. not too bad. I mean, 6 kills to 2. Muradin misses the Stormbolt here as the red team picks up level 13. But still, some of those plays that we just saw from the Krankle crew, again, very well coordinated. So, right now, we got 21,000. Oh, that arrow goes nowhere, my friends. Or does it? It zones out Porky. Actually, kudos! ETC has to dodge the arrow, so he needs to go into a bit of a different spot that puts the Haka into a position where he can get the kill. Problem was just simply the rotation that then took him out. So, a bit unfortunate. But we're going to take another look at that in just a moment. Actually, let's do it now. So, right there, arrow was dodged, and then they can go for the Haka. You see, so the Haka gets the kill, but he's too much in the corner, and they can finally eliminate him. So, it's a kill for a kill. As teams fight for the next seed, there's 2 seeds on the side of Team Ash. So if you want to avoid Garden Terrors, then you really got to dig deep now. Hanzo's just getting farmed this game, by the way. Gets killed again, stage dive into Power Slide right there. The Haka is coming in too. Maiev is mega low, but they get a kill on Zagara. Zagara is gone. Vala with basically no hit points, just dancing around them. Light Bomb does again not get the stun, but now they go for Diablo again, and he drops, and this time he didn't have the soul stacks. I mean, honestly, at this point, it really felt like Diablo committed honorable Sudoku, if you ask me. He just jumped in and was like, yeah, well, I might as well kill myself. Yeah, maybe I get a counter kill. I think that was really the thought process. That he realized, we're losing the fight, I'm too deep, I'm gonna die. If I can now get a wall stun against the fort, maybe I can at least get a kill and trade. But that wasn't really happening. So, a bit unfortunate for them here. Now, with that, ETC has rotated back up towards the top lane and is now pushing for the next fort. The fort at the bottom of the map already got destroyed. Seed obviously taken up by the blue team. So the Krankle crew has been able to grab that and are pressuring the mid lane. They have a big lead in experience as well, and a very big lead actually now that we're talking about it. They are 2 levels ahead, and they have a talent advantage. Doesn't get much better than that. I mean, at this point, with 10 kills to 3, they're just looking stellar here. Vala is Manticore, as I said before. She has 1 quest reward completed, is now working on number 2. Again, stage dive and the power slide. That combo is real nice, but he ran straight into the ult from the Haka. Arrow after the maw, and Vala is finally dead, and so is Muradin. That was awesome. That was a really cool kill. That was brilliant. Anduin gets chased, but let's check that out again. Look at this. Maw is in, and then the arrow. The arrow perfectly timed, and Vala dies as a result. It's 5% of the attack speed gone. They also lose Muradin. Avatar. Sorry. Something caught my throat there for just a second. Apologies. Yeah, now we've gotten Terrors. Go a little bit too deep. Lose 2 heroes. Lose the objective. Garden Terrors are pushing. Fort is gone. And that is the move where Team Ash is catching up. Right now, they have the chance of pulling ahead in structures. Actually, screw chance. They are going to pull ahead in structures. 100%. Top side gets attacked. Mid lane gets attacked. Team Ash is taking the lead here. Just a second ago, I've been talking about how the blue team has a 2-level advantage over the opponent. Right now, with that little fight where the blue team went too deep and then lost heroes on the choke point after that maw from Zagara, the red team, Team Ash, is starting to take over. They've now destroyed half of the hit points, more than half of the fort in the middle, and they've taken 2 forts out completely. Top and bot lane have both fallen, and in experience the gap is being... I mean, again, there's no gap anymore, essentially. Yeah, it's half a level technically, but honestly, they are going to be able to close that easily. Unless, of course, they're losing some more fights, and now... great combo. I gotta give credit, really, to the blue team. Some of those coordinated plays that they have here, super sexy. That was, by the way, a Haymaker kill. Haymaker. Viable. So, 3 kills for Vala. One of them teed up by Haymaker. Diablo trying an APOC comp here, but they don't have any damage dealers. Where is that going? Hanzo, my friend, stop drinking on the job. But Khaldor, it's Saturday. I gotta get vodka. Every death, 1 vodka. I die 4 times, he's 4 shots, he's not good for aim. So arrow misses. No kill. Well, Diablo's died 6 times, so that doesn't really help him here. I mean, again, Team Ash, don't count them out. They already clawed their way back once. Now it looks a little bit tricky, but Krankle Krew, again, they shouldn't really be too confident just yet. So, that arrow went nowhere. Maybe they were saving the good ones for the next game, who knows. We got 20 kills, level 20 now. Storm Talons are in, and that gives Vala also Far Flight Quiver. Alright, let's go. Can Team Ash bring that one back? They go for ETC! Yeah, he's gone. There's no way. Poor Rocky. Literally pinned down into the corner and gets totally crushed. Oh boy. A bit of damage up here at the top. Forky gets completely annihilated by that. That was a very nice rotation. They cut every single path of retreat off. He couldn't go anywhere. Nothing left for him. Seed still gets taken. With level 20 talents, they still don't want to fight. They know they would get delayed. And that ETC would then just come back, use the stage dive and jump in. They're just letting it go. But, yeah. Still kind of funny. Alright. So, we got, for now, Vala. I mean, Vala is just dancing around like she's on speed or something. Haka. They came from behind. Yeah. Apoc, arrow, and Vala is immediately in trouble. Gets more. She's dead. Vala's dead. They can't save her. Anduin, can he pull her quickly enough? No. Vala is gone. That's your main damage dealer down the drain. ETC with stage dive a bit too late to the party and gets instantly rooted. So once again, it's Team Ash trying to go for the comeback. And they are doing well. Yeah, the Hellgate play by Diablo wasn't successful. Muradin is barely getting away, and then he gets dragged back in and murdered. Krankle is gone, and Team Ash with a big momentum plays here. Oh yeah, level 20 versus level 20, and they are crushing it again. 2 seeds to 0. Catapults now at the 16.5 minute mark, of course, starting to become a bit more dangerous, and so is the camp at the bottom. The Haka will have to move in order to deal with this. But with the 2 extra kills that the red team just picked up, they definitely have now a shot at doing some work with the seed. Claim that. And who knows? Maybe turn the game around and force game number 3 after all. Vala is 126 stacks, has died twice. She's at 41,000 damage, which puts her currently in the number 3 position in hero damage. Behind both Hanzo and Zagara. So, yeah. Haga pushing out the bottom of the map. And the top. I guess they can destroy the wall here. Marin is back in 5. Only died 2 times. Compare that to Diablo, who got destroyed 6 times. Yeah, I've been criticizing, as usual, the playmaker choice. But at least he's not completely getting farmed here. ETC, stage dive, light bomb, and the power slide, and that eliminates Malfurion. The Haka came in, but he came in late. So now the arrow connects with 3. Arrow into Apoc. Only 1 proper connect, but with another power slide from ETC, they're able to take Diablo down too, and he's down for the duration. So is Zagara, and now that the Haka falls, that's of course an absolute nightmare. First of all, the seed is spawning in 14 seconds, so simply moving over, they should be able to claim this. That's the end. 5-man team wipe. They can maybe even keep somebody with a seed, as they're obviously going to try to at least go for a keep, maybe even for game if they have enough time. Not quite sure how quick their structure clear is. But even if on the way back they're only taking the seed, Garden Terrors are going to be theirs. But they're hoping to go now straight towards the grand final. And things honestly don't really look all that bad for them. So, yeah, they're definitely going to be able to pull that off. Nicely done. Really effective play from them. And they are pulling it off, ladies and gentlemen. A 2-0 victory for the Krankle Krew against Team Ash, as the red team is eliminated from qualifier number 2 for the Murky Cup. And the Krankle Krew move on to the grand final. Nicely done. ETC 100% win rate. GG. Well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.